Hey everyone, Somi here from InPeak with an episode of our new daily minicast series. Every weekday, we bring you an angel investor, a family office, or a VC who shares their investment thesis so that you know exactly what they're looking for. Today, we are featuring Isabella Vahdati from BrightEye. They are a seed and Series A investor from London who primarily focus on EdTech and HRTech.
Our one-sentence investment thesis is that we are an EdTech-focused VC. We invest at seed and Series A stages with checks typically between 500k and 4 million euros. Common trait that we look for in founders is that they're the right person or group of people to tackle a problem. So what that means is you'll typically be coming up against many other companies doing very similar things to you. But why do you have the knowledge in that sector, and why do you have the right contacts in the sector to ensure that your solution is going to be the one that kind of outpaces the others and can achieve the returns that we look for in a typical investment? A deal breaker for myself when I'm evaluating a startup is the lack of ambition in a founder. So the way that VC works is we need our investments to hit certain metrics. And if a founder is building a fantastic company, they're having a huge impact on many lives, or they're creating something really special and interesting, it may not be enough for us. So we need to see that they've got the ambition to grow, to achieve, unicorn level valuations within a significant enough time frame for us to be able to invest. And without that, we just know that there won't be a happy relationship between us, the VC, and the founder, because we'll be constantly pushing them to achieve things that they didn't set out their business to achieve in the first place. So we want to know from the first step, from when we go to make that investment, that both of our ambitions are aligned so that we can have a more comfortable relationship with the same goals in mind. One piece of advice that I would give to founders is that you should always be networking and you should always be fundraising, and the fundraising journey never stops. I would say even, you might be raising your pre-seed round. You might be introduced to an investor who says, hey, I'm not relevant for you right now, but I'd really love to know what you're talking about. You should still go for it, because investors are looking to track companies over a time period. And it's much easier for investors to make decisions about a company if they've seen your progression, if they've seen your ability to hit targets over a year, 2 years, rather than coming in straight at the point of time when you're raising that round. So I think always be out there, always be talking to investors, and always be keeping us informed, whether that's through regular newsletters, whether that's through regular calls, whatever the style of relationship that works with that particular investor goes. I think you just need to keep that up at all points. A startup's exit strategy, in terms of importance, I'd say at the time of investing, it's not front and foremost focus for us. It kind of, we need to know that, they've got ideas in mind, they want to hit a certain scale with their company, and they know what a potential exit could possibly look like. But I would say definitely in the initial conversations with the founder, it's not the first thing that we think about. So after a pitch, we always like our founders to follow up, within 3 days or so with any materials that we've asked for. If we have to start chasing you for a deck or a financial model, it gets a little bit tiring on our end. It makes us start to have some doubts about what it's like for you when you're running your sales processes. Does that become a blocker, and is it a startup that's not very proactive? So I think it's always great for you to follow up with any materials as quickly as possible. We usually set a time frame for when we're going to get back to founders. So we're not expecting you to come back to us and say, do you have a decision yet? What's happening? I mean, it's not by any means a red flag if you do that, but we kind of have our processes and we will stick by those processes, and we're not going to speed them up because you're chasing us. So I think giving clear and fast answers to any requests is the most important thing to do. And other than that, asking for updates is okay, but we will try to be as clear as possible with our timelines with you from the outset. So hopefully there'll be no need for you to follow up and ask more questions, because you should already know what those timelines look like.
I hope you enjoyed today's minicast episode featuring Isabella Vahdati from BrightEye. Make sure to join us at InPeak.xyz, where we have daily live webinars, masterclasses, panels, and networking opportunities for founders, investors, and service providers. I also have a weekly long-form podcast where I invite some of the most amazing industry leaders that you don't want to miss. Download the Somi Ariane podcast wherever you get your podcast, or subscribe to my YouTube channel at Somi Ariane.